Hey, what's up guys? Today in this video, I'm going to quickly brief you through the front-end setup that I have created for the Perfectionist web client. So the idea is that some of the live videos that I have done around the functionality of site monitoring is what the API will do, and we have this Next.js based front-end application which is going to support that app as the UI. Now, my typical stack in these kind of front end applications are Next.js, obviously with React, right? I use TypeScript. So I initially installed that. The Next.js implementation is quite simple, not KS, but rather JS. So yeah, the create app using TypeScript, that's what I have done. Once that is done, right, I installed Tailwind. You can go to tailwindcss.com. Okay, and from there go to get started, framework guides, and Next.js. This is all that you need to do. Basically, install these dependencies. These are dev dependencies. Then in the Tailwind config, tell Tailwind which files to look for. So basically Tailwind will only look for the CSS classes which are used in these components, and it will prune everything which is not required. Hence your final CSS file will be very small if you are not using that many classes, and that's typically what happens. So the setup is straightforward. I haven't done anything out of the ordinary, and this time inside my project I'm trying to use DaisyUI. I saw this as one very popular free open source Tailwind CSS component library, and I could see quite a few of them. Quite interesting, to be frank. There are themes available, which are a different look and feel. There's a very comprehensive list of components. So yeah, I thought why don't we give it a shot? And this is what I have so far. So I'll quickly brief you through the things that I have done so that you can get accustomed to it. Now, obviously, in my course, the backend code will be private repository. I am not going to share that, but this front end thing, just so that there is reference, what I will do is I'll make the GitLab project public so that you can reference it. But obviously, the API is something which will continue to be a private one. Okay, so let's go to our code base. I have only one page created right now. So there is the index page, the home page, which is looking like this. Okay, I just tried, and I was trying to see basically if my Tailwind and DaisyUI is working properly or not. So this is how the Tailwind component is coming. So text 3L, font bold, underline, right? The hello world is coming fine. The my button is something which is coming from DaisyUI. It gives you a lot of CSS classes out of the box. So BTN and then BTN accent is something which comes with DaisyUI and gives you this button. Now there is something called as layout. Let me walk you through this component. This is generally a very common thing that I do. I have a layout file. I'm sure a lot of other projects do this as well. So we have a layout file. It will expect certain kinds of props, page title being the first one. So if I go to the links page, for example, link list perfectionist, right? So this is how the link page is being sending the page title to the layout file. Let's see that page title is here, right? So that layout file will take that up and it will stick it over here in the title tag. So the head section is over here, nothing too fancy. Then we have the main. I have a top navigation. This is the top navigation. This is a combination of quite a few small things from DaisyUI, but the basic thing you can get it from here. Okay, I think I have this without the cart button, and I used this drop down menu. So yeah, it's a combination of a few things. Perfect. So I have links over here, home, let's go back to links, right? And yeah, so the top navigation is over here. Then I have this small little breadcrumb thing, and while I am explaining it to you, I see that there is a small problem. The margin top should ideally come when the breadcrumb is present. Otherwise, there can be situations where there are two margin tops, and that will result in margin of 8 empty. Okay, this way it's not going to take that. Fine. Yes, this is better. So if we have the breadcrumbs, then we render this div, otherwise we don't. Okay, I think this can be simplified as well. Okay, and then we have this div which is rendering the children. Because it's a layout file, I expect components to come in, so that's what I'm doing. This is my props. Okay, and the breadcrumbs is an interesting component, so let me show you. The breadcrumb is expecting an array of I breadcrumb link. So let me go into the breadcrumb component that is inside our components folder, breadcrumb, right? So this is the markup. Let me show you on DaisyUI as well. Breadcrumbs. So I'm using this one. So it's a very straightforward thing. We have a div, then UL, and then we have 3 lists, right? Some of them are links, some of them are not, which is fine. So what I am doing is I am expecting an array of links which is of type breadcrumb link. Breadcrumb link will have the name, which basically is this either home, documents, add document, stuff like that. Okay, and the link. Now obviously the last element typically in a breadcrumb doesn't have a link, so this link thing is actually optional. And then what I am doing is I'm checking whether the links exist, and if the length is more than 0, then I'm running a map. The list is rendered. The link tag of Next.js checks whether the link is there. If there is, then we use that. Otherwise, we send a hash link, and then we have the a tag with the name which is coming from this thing. Okay, and that is how on the links page, this is a hash link like this, and if I click on home, I'm taken to the home page. So this is how the breadcrumb is working right now. Actually, on the home page, I should also have that thing. So maybe what I will do is copy this, import the thing, and as this is already home, I'll do a hash link and pass the breadcrumb to the layout. Right. So links and home is taken care of. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think there is anything right now. Additionally, in this setup, which is custom, the Tailwind configuration, it only says that the DaisyUI needs to be added as a plugin, which I have done, and otherwise everything is quite straightforward. So yes, I'm going to go through this code base, and I'm going to push more videos on how the front end for the perfectionist app will look like, and then you can build it on your own looking at the videos, or you can use this if you want to. But yeah, that's the idea. I'm building it in public so that you guys can learn, and you can give feedback as well, and I will try to improve the product accordingly. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, do click on the thumbs up icon, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.